Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Titans Season 4, Episode 3, Jinx, You Owe Me a Coke. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, also hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you feel like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. Best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages there as well. And sometimes my schedule is actually right. Not today or yesterday. Sorry about yesterday. It just, there's a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, things are just busy now. And so, yeah, I had to cancel, unfortunately. I will be doing the peripheral episode 5 right after this one. That's what I'll do. So, for those of you who are interested in peripheral season 1, episode 5, I'll do it right after this. So, let's get to Titans episode 3 here, Jinx. Okay. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. Give me enough time to hit pause, whatever you need to do. Okay. All righty. There we go. So Titans is falling right back into line with everything they've done. And why should they change, quite honestly? Again, we get no superpowers, no show of any kind of special effects that would show powers, because that would cost money, is what would happen. Even though they are on HBO Max and they are supposedly be funded by HBO Max money, they are actually have a CW budget still, is what's going on. Also, they don't wear their costumes at all. No, not a single person, not a single Titan had their costume on this entire episode. We get introduced to Jinx, who through Nightwing, through Dick at this point, because Dick knows Jinx, Jinx knows Dick, and she knows Dick, in the biblical sense too. So, yeah, uh, you could say she intimately knows Dick, which she does. And she's in prison because he put her there, and she escapes, of course, and they need her help, or I should say Dick needs her help, because Dick thinks that since she's a magic user, she can help with Mother Mayhem, basically identifying her at least. So Starfire and Dick end up going to her last scene of the crime, because most likely she's going to go there again. And sure enough, that's the case. Corey gets turned to stone, and Dick goes on a wild goose chase with Jinx. And in the meantime, um, and again, everyone's split up. This is again pretty much par for the course here. Instead of having a team ensemble, we split everybody up again. They don't really act like a team. We still haven't seen the team together until the very last episode. Usually is when what ends up happening. That's when we actually have a team. The last episode of the season is when we actually get a team effort, versus during the season, which everyone seems to be going their own separate ways. So Tim and Superboy are off at Star Labs because Tim needs training, and Beast Boy and Raven are out in the van, out someplace out in the world. We just don't know where. And with that pairing, Raven's just telling him how empty she feels. She's not feeling everyone in the world's sorrow, misery, all that kind of stuff flowing through her anymore, where she has to block it out. And having all her, basically having Trigon ripped from her at this point. That's what she's feeling. And in the meantime, Gar keeps hearing voices, and he realizes that they're skinwalkers. And they're trying to tell him something. And by the end of the episode, where we leave off, is that he gets this cryptic thing that when the blood moon rises, everyone will fall. Basically, the world will fall. How ominous is that going to be? Of course. Corey, when she gets turned to stone for looking in the little box that Jinx was trying to steal, goes on her own vision quest, if you will, and meets up with her old instructor again. And her old instructor basically gives her some mumbo jumbo that Dick is her destiny, and that Dick is the reason for her destiny, or is part of her destiny, or she needs Dick in order to complete that destiny, or her destiny is Dick. I don't know which one it is. It was very cryptic, and she didn't know what it was either. So I guess we'll find out what part of Dick is, or what kind of destiny Dick has in her future. Did I say Dick enough? I'm just trying to find out here. Um, and of course, Dick ends up fighting some dark elves and wins because they don't use magic, because that's not in the budget. They can't use. Well, I take that back. The head dark elf um, does fight Dick and uses a dagger and splits into four, which he dodges all of them and throws one back at her, and she catches it, and then he kicks her in the head and knocks her out. That, of course, is a ploy by Jinx in order to steal something else from this dark elf. When in this entire time, basically the spell that Corey's been under, turned to stone, has all been something that Jinx could have taken care of and gotten rid of. But, you know, she's using Dick in order to get something else. It happens, you know. We find out that Dick is actually all over the world. I mean, Dick is pretty prevalent everywhere. In case you didn't know, so he is. But yeah. Oh, and the other thing that comes out of this is Brother Blood, or Sebastian Sang, before he becomes Brother Blood, of course. Uh, got this weird phone call from the video game that he auditioned at there, and there's obviously Mother Mayhem tell him to come back, and that they were going to sell his game, or they were going to go with his game, and instead the guy ends up putting scissors in his own eyes, and that's pretty much where the budget went for this episode, was putting the scissors in this guy's eyes. Although I wouldn't put it past them to actually have put the scissors in the guy's eyes to save from you know having to pay for it, but pay for the special effects for that. And of course, Sebastian Sang is arrested because it's in Metropolis, and Metropolis PD doesn't do any forensic work whatsoever. So they couldn't tell if the scissors didn't have, Sebastian's fingerprints on them at all. So, you know, um, Penn says, wasn't Corey's song a similar blood moon prophecy message? Not really. There is something about a blood moon, but I mean, why would something from another planet in another part of another part of the galaxy uh, be applicable to Earth, to the Tamaranian? That's the other thing that gets me. The other thing that kind of disturbed me about this was when they're in Star Labs, Tim and Connor basically get word that Metropolis PD, their evidence locker has been ransacked, if you will, and 40 gallons of blood that was in the evidence room has been stolen. Let me say that again. 40 gallons of blood that was in the evidence room has been stolen. For those of you who don't know how blood is stored, excuse me, it needs to be in a special bag that does not rip open platelets and all that stuff, causing coagulation. Also, it needs to be refrigerated so that it doesn't coagulate. It only lasts for a certain amount of time. There's no way in hell that you're going to have 40 gallons of blood in a barrel or something like that, sitting in an evidence locker in a PD station. So that kind of made me laugh really right there, and just showed you how lame the writers actually are. At one point, I'm like, was there a third grader writing this or what? I mean, because there was some really stupid shit in this one. And that's saying a lot. I mean, Akiva Goldsman wrote the first season, so that's a lot. Yeah. I agree with you, Penn. Titans is lame. I know this. Um, oh man. So of course, when they investigate this, they find out that there's genetic markers that all the people who died with the snake coming out of their mouth had, and that Sebastian Seng has also that marker on him, and they need to get to him. But of course, they find out he's been arrested for the murder of that software dude. And of course, Mother Mayhem gets there, and she's trying to get him to say Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos. And just before he can say Zinthos, Connor busts into the PD, grabs him, and spirits him away at super speed. So that's kind of where we're at this point in time. Things are moving again, like Titans does, as molasses, slow as molasses. And we're really not going to get movement on this story, I guess, until the final 2 or 3 episodes. That's usually what happens with this. And of course, we won't get the team coming back together and using their superpowers until the last episode because they don't have it in the budget to do it throughout the season. So there we go. All right. And I look forward to next week, is what I look. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping the writing's a little bit better next week. Sometimes the writers do, in the writing pool actually do surprise me every now and then and do write some good episodes. It's very few and far in between, but this is not one of them. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, right after this, what time is it right now? As I'm looking at my time, um, I'll try and do it within 15 minutes here. I'm going to do the Peripheral episode 5 of the first season, since I missed that yesterday. Tomorrow is going to be another episode of the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. And Monday I'll be off. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around it's going to be Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. So I'm going to be doing that. Wednesday I'll be off. Thursday will be Titans again. And Friday will be The Peripheral, episode 6. And that's where we're at there. All righty. So I'm going to let you guys go for a little bit. Then I'm going to go and set this up. And then I'll see you guys again for The Peripheral. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get caught up in a really bad TV show that doesn't allow you. It's about superheroes, but they never wear superhero costumes, and they also don't use their powers all that frequently because they just don't have the budget for it. But anyway, thanks everybody. I will see you again in just a little bit here for The Peripheral. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. I know it's a lot to ask in the last 15 minutes between here and the next video, but try what you can. Thanks everybody. I'll see you again fairly soon here. See you in a little bit. Thanks. Bye.